And last but certainly not least, I'm going to give you guys my schedule prediction. I did this last year. I actually streamed, so I was doing it on a stream. Go follow me if you want. Enags1 on Twitch or Enags on YouTube. Little plug for myself there. But we are going to do my prediction. I was fairly close last year. I predicted 9-8. The Bengals were 10-7. I was told I was crazy by my chat. I was told crazy by a lot of people when I gave this prediction. I will have this up on our channel so you guys can, every time we win or lose, L plus ratio or whatever you want to do to me. But we're going to do it. It's way too early. It's super stupid, but I absolutely love it. The schedule release, I will admit, is horrible. Just because they take forever and just release them. Everybody wants to just see them. They're trying to make like travel plans and stuff. I hate the way the NFL releases schedule, but that's besides the point. There was a fake page or whatever that was releasing fake schedules. For a while, we thought the Bengals were going to play on Thanksgiving. That was not true, so that kind of sucked. I was kind of excited for that. That was going to be the game I attempted to go to if we did, but we didn't. But without further ado, we're going to go into my schedule prediction right now. The first game, the Bengals will start off week 1 of the NFL season at 1 p.m. against the Steelers. I'm starting the Bengals off 1-0. I just don't think the Steelers going to have the offense needed to kind of keep up in this AFC North. I think their defense is going to be top notch, probably going to be top 5 in most metrics, but I just don't think that offense is going to be able to get it done. I'm not sure who they're going to start really week 1. It could be Kenny Pickett. It could be Mitch Trubisky. I don't know, but I just don't really see a world where when you compare offenses that they can keep up. I think the Bengals defense is significantly closer to the Steelers defense than the Steelers offense is to the Bengals offense. And I'm going to kind of leave it at that. And most of these, quarterback is kind of what I'm going off to. Bengals have a significant advantage at quarterback here. I think the Bengals start off 1-0. Week 2, they're at the Dallas Cowboys at 4:25 kickoff. Going to be interesting. A lot of different primetime 4:25 kicks, so that's pretty cool. The Dallas game is an interesting one. I am probably lower on the Cowboys than I think most are. It's going to be very interesting seeing Micah Parsons. It's going to be the Lyle Collins return. That's going to be pretty cool to see. I can almost guarantee he's going to get in a fight. He just seems like that kind of guy, and I kind of love it. But yeah, Micah Parsons is going to be interesting. They lost Randy Gregory, I do believe. He went to the Cowboys, pulled it out from under him too. So it's going to be interesting. Trayvon Diggs versus Jamar Chase. That's going to be a fun matchup. It's going to be a fun game. I think. How do I think the Cowboys offense is going to bounce back? I don't know. I am going to predict the Bengals to go 2-0 to start off the year. I think they're going to beat the Cowboys. I think it's going to be a good game, though. I think that game is going to be closer. I think that one could come down to like a touchdown or something. Whoever gets the ball last, I think it's going to be 2 high-powered offenses. Interested to see the Cowboys offense without Amari Cooper this year. And especially when I'm pretty sure Michael Gallup tore his ACL towards the end of the year. So I'm not sure when he'll be back. I'm not sure if he'll be back for that game. So kind of interested to see that. For week 3, the Bengals go to New York to face the Jets. And boy, am I getting shades of Mike White. And boy, do I hope that doesn't happen. But in all seriousness, I do think the Jets are a significantly improved team. They are much better than they were. You would likely not be facing a backup. You'd be facing Zach Wilson. You'd be facing 2 of your former teammates in C.J. Uzomah and Carl Lawson if you were there that long. But this is going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a test for this young Jets team. I think the Bengals are going to be the test for a lot of these teams. They're going to play the Bengals and be like, how close are we? The Jets are a team that I could see that could do something like the Bengals and make that jump where you're drafting pretty low. You're drafting in the top 5. And then, they did draft top 5. They got Sauce Gardner. And they make that jump into the playoffs. I think they are they could be a great team. They have a quarterback that I kind of believe in. I would like to see more from Wilson, but excited to see him with new weapons. They have Saleh, who I like as a defensive coach, got some defensive pieces. I think they could be a good team. That being said, I just don't think they're there yet. It would be interesting. I think it's going to be a fun game. That's one I'm definitely going to tune into with a lot of anticipation. I'm excited to see C.J. Uzomah with his new team and just see how they play. But I think the Bengals start off 3-0 here and beat the Jets in week 3. Week 4, we face the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football, which is a ton of fun. I think that's awesome. Had to take a drink break to drink my water. I'm running out of breath. So this is a cool game. Tua versus Joe. Going to be cool. See Tyreek Hill. That's a ton of fun too. Why not? This one again, I just think the Bengals have a better offense, a more proven offense. I don't think the Dolphins are bad by any means. I think Tua is fine. I think he's going to be even better when you have Tyreek Hill there, when you have Jalen Waddle there. But I'm just not sure where I think the Dolphins' defense is. Again, this is also with limited knowledge of how much I actually like. How much do I? Because I do watch all the Bengals, so that's kind of tough when you have to watch teams that kick off at the same time, which is normally the Dolphins. So, but I think the Bengals are going to beat them. I just like Joe Burrow more than I liked Tua, and it's a quarterback-driven league. So I think the Bengals win. They start off the season 4-0, and I actually am going to give them their first loss of the season against the Ravens in Week 5. I think the Bengals drop one here. I think they likely split with most of the division. Kind of really depends on how this whole Deshaun Watson thing shakes out with the Browns. So we don't really know there. So that's going to be an interesting one. Going to be really hard for the prediction. But I do think the Bengals drop this one against the Ravens. Primetime game. I think it's tough because I think the Ravens are worse on paper than they were last year. I think Mark Andrews might have 1 million yards just because of the fact they don't have any receivers. They got rid of Marquise Brown. And I don't think they drafted one either. So it's going to be very interesting. Lamar's going to really have to put the team on his back this year. And I do like Lamar. I think he's a great talent. I think their defense got significantly better. They had a great draft. They got Linderbaum and Kyle Hamilton. So I think this could be a game we see the Bengals drop. And I'm okay with that. 4-1 through 5 is fine. I will take that. But I am going to give the Bengals first loss of the season there. They next go to, they're going to New Orleans, who is going to be a very interesting team to watch personally, just because they had a very interesting draft too. They were super banged up last year, so it's going to be interesting. They had one game where they had to start Ian Book in prime time, so I'm interested to see this. I'm interested to see if Michael Thomas is going to be back. They have a pretty much entirely new receiving core. Jarvis Landry just signed there. Jameis Winston, big fan of the guy. Love him. It's going to be a super fun game. The game I'm trying to go to. Joe and Jamar's return to New Orleans. It's going to be so much fun. Here, I think the Bengals have the edge in, again, every position that matters. I think Cam Jordan's still incredible. I think Marshawn Lattimore's really good. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. Their defense and our offense, I think our defense is better than their offense by a sizable lead. So I'm going to give this one to the Bengals too. I think they're going to start 5-1 through 6. Next game, they play the Atlanta Falcons at home, which is pretty interesting. Desmond Ridder coming back. I'm not sure if he'll be starting then. They have Mariota, but I'm not really sure what the plan there is. Maybe Desmond Ridder starts. I think I would doubt it. I think they're going to roll out with Mariota. I think Desmond's probably a guy that they're going to start maybe next year or the year after. I don't really know how long they signed Mariota, to be honest, but I do think the Bengals beat the Falcons. I think they're a significantly better team. So I have them at 6-1 right now through 7. And here's the Browns game. We have a Monday night football game on Christmas. I almost said Christmas on Halloween. So that's going to be kind of cool. This one, again, I have no idea what's going to happen. This really depends to me on if they are rolling out Deshaun Watson or not. It's week 8, so that's kind of at a weird point where, like, maybe is he going to be suspended 4 games, 8 games? I don't know. Is he going to be suspended at all this year? Are they going to wait till next year? I don't know. So I'm going to go under the proceedings that Deshaun Watson plays both games. I think they're going to split them. The Browns have been a tough out for the Bengals pretty much since we got Joe Burrow. Just can't figure it out. They've had 2 games that they probably should have won, and they just couldn't pull it out. So I think they're going to split with them. I just think it's going to be a really tough competition. The Browns offense is pretty good. Don't think the receivers are great, but that offensive line is insane. Deshaun Watson with an offensive line is probably going to be really good, especially with that running game with Chubb and Kareem still in the backfield. And the defense is all right. It's kind of, I don't know what we're going to get there. You've got Myles Garrett and not much else up front. JOK is awesome. Love him. Denzel Ward's really good too, but I don't know. I just like the Bengals in this matchup, but I think they match up well, but I just think they're going to drop one at some point too. So I think they go 6-2 through 8. They play the Carolina Panthers the next week at home. I'm going to give the Bengals the win there. The Panthers are in kind of like this, where are we going? I just don't know where they're at as a team. I think I heard they were shopping CMC, but then they weren't. I don't know. I just think the Bengals have the advantage pretty much everywhere in this game too. I think the Panthers defense is kind of surprising. It'll be an interesting test if we're being honest. I actually don't think, is Brian Burns still on their team? I don't know. they had a good defense, an interesting defense, I'll say. They've got players, so that's kind of interesting. Their offense, I think they Sam Darnold, so I just don't know what the Panthers are going to be and where they're going to be at. So I think they're going to be 7-2 through 9, and then they play at the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football, which is very interesting to me. Part of me thinks they're the Steelers, and they're never going to be bad. So I think they maybe sneak a win against us, but I also think this Bengals team is very different. They're Joe Burrow led. I think they're going to sweep the Browns, not the Browns. I think they're going to sweep the Steelers this year. It's kind of my prediction. So 9-2 through 11, which sounds crazy, but the Bengals' first part of the season, I don't think is too hateful. So through 11, I don't think it's bad. So 9-2 through there. Then you've got Week 12 at the Tennessee Titans. I think this is a game that is super interesting. I think the Titans are going to get up for this game. I think they remember and they're angry about the loss. So I think you're going to get the best shot from the Titans that you can. And it's going to be an interesting one. I'm really excited for this. Again, hoping to go to this one as well. But I am going to say they beat the Titans. I just don't love that offense right now without having A.J. Brown. Losing him is huge. I think Ryan Tannehill's fine. I just don't think he's going to be able to do as many things without A.J. Brown there. I think Derrick Henry's obviously incredible, probably the best running back in football. But if that's all you can do, I think it's really hard. The Bengals pretty much contain Derrick Henry, obviously coming up with injuries. So that's a little bit different. But I think it is going to be interesting seeing the Titans this season. Defensively, I think they're good. I think they're going to get better. I think their cornerback that got injured last year is going to be back at probably fuller health. And that D-line is good, man. That D-line is good. So that's going to be a really good game. I'm going to say that the Bengals drop this game against the Titans and go to 9-3 on the year. Does that equal 12? Let me look real quick as I do the quick maths. 9 plus 3. That is 12. Let's go, baby. And we are going to Week 13 against the Chiefs. This one, again, I don't love to say this, but I think the Bengals are going to lose this game. Just off of pure feeling, not really rhyme or reason. They don't have Tyreek Hill. I think their offense took a step down. They have Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't really know. I think they still have this. I think they do have Mecole Hardman. But it's just a significantly worse offense with Tyreek Hill. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I still think they're awesome. I still think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. So I think that's what's going to do it for them. I think their defense got a little bit better. Except they lost Tyrann Mathieu, so that kind of hurts. But I think in every other level, they got better in the offseason. So I think the Bengals are going to lose that also because probably realistic. You're probably going to drop some games. So that puts the Bengals at 9-4 through week 13. And then we've got the Browns, had us losing to the Browns first. So I'm going to have us winning this game just because I think it's likely that the Bengals are going to split them. So I have us at 10-4 currently. And I think that's just realistic. I think the Bengals splitting the Browns is very realistic. They're probably the 1 and 2 in the AFC North this year, in my opinion. I think the Ravens are good. That offense really, I have questions about it. That without the receiver is really interesting to me. I think Rashad Bateman's fine. It's just, I don't know if I believe in him as wide receiver 1. So we will see. He'll probably make me eat my words right there. But I think the Bengals go 10-4 through week 14 against the Browns. And then they have week 15 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. So that's going to be a ton of fun. This one, again, I don't really know how I feel about this. I think this Bucs team is going to be different. Tom is coming back, so that's obviously changes things. I thought we were getting kind of laid off easy if we were playing Trask, but we aren't. That defense is still good. Another big test. I think this is a game they drop as well. I think Tampa gets up for this game. And I think that defense is really good. I think corner is the only weakness I would say they have. Everything else is really good. That D-line is legit, and it's been legit for a while. So I think the Bengals are going to go 10-5 at this point through week 15. Then they go to New England. I think that is going to be a win. And I'll give them 11-5 right now. And then probably at this point would be the most important game of the season, playing the Bills Monday Night Football in Cincinnati. That's a ton of fun. That's going to be a great game circled on our calendars. So the Bengals would be 11-5 going into this game. And this is just such a fun matchup. I mean, you get to see Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, prime time. I think that Bills offense is really good. Their defense leaves me something to be desired. Man, I'm just getting excited thinking about that. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, if that doesn't make your pants shorter, I don't know what does. But I'm going to be a little, not biased here, but I think the Bengals win this game. I think our defense has a better chance of slowing down their offense than theirs does ours. I think they're a great team, honestly. I would probably say the Bills are the favorites to win the AFC North, the AFC in my opinion right now. But I think the Bengals get it done, and I think they advance to 12-5 on the year. And I think at that point we're looking at this Ravens game as like icing on the cake. You're probably already in the playoffs, so you're probably resting guys here. So maybe you rest guys, maybe win or lose this game. I will say they lose just because I'm anticipating this game doesn't matter. So I'm anticipating they've already clinched either division or the playoffs, and they can't improve seeding at all. So at this point, I think they drop this game and they go from 12-5 against the Bills to 12-6 after the Ravens game. And that is my prediction for the Bengals there. So I think the Bengals are going to go 12-6. I think that's a fairly realistic game. Maybe the Bengals this year lost a lot of games they probably shouldn't have when you're talking about the Jets game. And I mean, they just got routed by the Browns when they still weren't really that good. And it's annoying. This team, they're young. They were young. They're not really anymore. So I'm just really excited at this point. I'm trying to see what were the games that they lost that they really should have won last year. Bears game, definitely shouldn't have lost that one, but Joe Burrow coming off the injury. You have that weird game against the Packers that they lost. Probably shouldn't have lost to the Jets. Who else shouldn't they have lost to? Probably shouldn't have lost to the 49ers either. That was a game you probably shouldn't have dropped, but then they didn't really lose much for the rest of the season. So they have some losses, so I think they'll have those this year and probably win some games they shouldn't. That's just what happens in football. I mean, that's why you love it, man. That's why you love it. And I'm just so excited for the NFL season to start ramping up again. So the news with that's going to be interesting. Next time we have the guys on, I'll ask them about their maybe schedule predictions, how they think about the draft. We'll start talking about like OTAs and everything coming up, how guys are looking. I obviously don't read into that stuff as much, and I don't think anybody does. So that'll be a ton of fun. But I hope you guys enjoy this episode of Kings of Queen City podcast. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. We try to talk about some news here and there, try to retweet stuff, try to have just some fun. Have some fun with Cincinnati sports. Make sure to follow all of us on social media. Follow me on social media. I am Eli__Nagel on Twitter. Changed that. So that's a new one for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys next time. Hoo day and go Reds.